NUP Convention 2023 eyindira mu Washington DC era bannayuganda bajumbidde mu bungi bagyetabyemu. N'abazungu ku luno tebalutumiddwa mwana, beetabyemu bangi nga baagala okumanya ensonga Uganda zeeyayaanira okutuukako. Balaba Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu bamulaba ng'ekirooto kya Uganda era nabo bakimanyi bulungi nti essuubi lya Uganda. Bakimanyi bulungi bannayuganda basalawo okumuteekamu obwesige asobole okubatwala mu maaso ku lwa Uganda empya. Kyova olaba abazungu bano bantu bagezigezi, bwe balaba omuntu w'abannansi gwe baagala nabo bamukkirizaamu kubanga bakimanyi tebasobola kuleeta muntu yenna n'akulembera ggwanga lyonna nga bannansi tebamwagala. Babadde bakola ne Museveni okumala ebbanga ddene naye nga bakirabyeko nti Museveni bannayuganda tebakyamukkiririzaamu. Bakitegedde nti Museveni bannayuganda bamubuuka nti mubbi. Awo bannayuganda bwe baba baabuuka kitegeeza tulabe yaani gwe baagala oyo gwe banakkiririzaamu. Bagenze okulaba Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu abantu bonna bamuyinamu obwesige era nga bagamba nti oyo yeewaffe. Kyova olaba nti kati abazungu bonna barespectinga Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Bamanya bumanya nti Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu wanaabeera tulina naffe okubeerawo tuwulirize ku bigambo ebiwoomu byawa eri ensi. Tumanye na lwaki bannayuganda bamwagadde nnyo, kiki kyanjawulo kyekyo kye bamulabamu okwawukana ku bannabyabufuzi abazze babaawo ebbanga. Tukimanyi bulungi nti bannabyabufuzi bangi abazze bavuganya mwami Museveni naye nga bannayuganda tebabakkiririzaamu. Dr. Besigye ye bamukkiririzaamu ebbanga lyonna ne bamuteekamu obwesige naye bagenda okkizuula oluvannyuma nga tajja kubatuusa gye beetaaga kutuuka. Bwe batyo ne basalawo ne bagamba nedda ekimala kimala, ke kaseera naffe tukyuseemu tuleete omwana waffe enzalwa ya ghetto, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Bwetyo convention ekyatambulira ddala egenda mu maaso naye ng'ate abazungu bagyetabyemu kubanga nabo banyumirwa ebyo ebigambo Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu byazze okugabanako ne bannayuganda banne abawangaalira emitala w'amayanja. Convention eno egendererwamu okusala entotto butya bwe tunajjako mwami Museveni, butya tusobola okukyusamu obuyinza nga tetuyiye musaayi. Obuyinza busobokera ddala okukyuka mu mirembe ate obuyinza busobokera ddala okukyuka nga bakozesa bannayuganda abatali mu ggwanga munda. Tukimanyi bulungi nti bannayuganda bali munda bayinza okulemerera okubaako kye bakolawo, weewaawo nti bakimanyi nti bakoowu naye ate obukoowu bwabwe bayinza obutabulaga nti beeyiwa ku street kubanga tukimanyi nti wano okulaba obulabi nga muvuddeyo kwekalakaasa baba balina obbattamu emirambo egiwera. Kyokka nga bannayuganda bali mu mawanga ag'ebweru bakimanyi nti basobola okuyisaawo eddoboozi lyabwe ne babaako kye bakola. Basobola okuwandiika amabaluwa ne bagateeka mu ofiises ennene ezifuga ensi eno era ne ziteekebwamu ekitiibwa. Kyova olaba nti kati Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu yasalawo nti ye kalwanira ebweru w'eggwanga Uganda n'abannansi abali ewaka bakole ekyabwe naye nga naye ogugwa agukoze. Nkakasa Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu tewali munnayuganda asobola kuvaayo n'agamba nti tumubanja. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu buli kyateekeddwa okukola akikoze. Kati bannayuganda ke kaseera ffe ffennyini okugamba nti ekimala kimala naffe ne tubaako kye tulagawo naye nga ye Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu okulabisa alabisizza. Tuzze tulaba obuyambi Museveni bazze bamuggyako obw'enjawulo. Tewakyali muzungu asobola kuwa Museveni ssente nga bamwesize nti yasobola okukola nga pulezidenti w'eggwanga Uganda kuba bakitegeera nti gwe bawa ssente muyeekera, gwe badiiringa naye mubbi. Kakati abantu basigadde kutunulira Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kubanga amaze okutula obusibo bwa Museveni bwonna. Kati abasinga obungi musobola okusigala nga mutunulidde Kyagulanyi Ssentamu nti yagenda okujja asitule Museveni mu ntebe. Bw'aba akoze omulimu gwe naffe bannayuganda tuba tulina okubaako kye tugattako ne tumanya nti omusajja naffe twamukoowa. Katuyambeko Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu watuuse naffe ate tulabe nga tuba paati ku kuggyako omwami eyeewaŋŋamiza mu ntebe y'eggwanga emyaka kati 38.
So one thing the U.S. could do could be more aggressive in determining how World Bank funds are spent in Uganda, since it's the largest contributor to the bank.
It's deliberate.
So in December 2021, the U.S. did sanction Major General Abel Kandiho. Joanne already talked about that. But most of what it was doing was still rhetorical condemnation. Now comes the other controversial thing I'm going to talk about. Then came the second anti-homosexuality law, signed into law in May 2023. It is the most severe anti-gay law in the world. the 2014 anti-gay law. Makes acts of homosexuality punishable by up to 20 years in prison and mandates the death penalty for what is called aggravated homosexuality. Just like Obama did in 2014, this extreme anti-gay law has mobilized the Biden administration and members of Congress to punish the Museveni regime, which I know a lot of you are aware of. Biden said the U.S. may impose sanctions on Uganda and would evaluate the implications of the law, quote, on all aspects of U.S. engagement with Uganda. That's an opening. That's an opening for advocacy in Congress. That one sentence, all aspects of U.S. engagement with Uganda. So what I'm going to be talking about is how can you use the condemnation of this law to expand U.S. condemnation of human rights and torture and corruption in Uganda. That's what I'm going to be arguing. So he also said this could apply to Uganda's eligibility for AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Biden continued. Listen to the words he said. This shameful act is the latest development in an alarming trend of human rights abuses and corruption in Uganda. I'm going to say it again. Biden said this shameful act, the Anti-Gay Act, is the latest development in an alarming trend of human rights abuses and corruption in Uganda. If he had not condemned the anti-gay law, he would not be talking about the other human rights abuses and corruption, right? Yes. So what's important for people to do is not just say, oh, they only talk about the anti-gay law. How can you use that to get the administration and Congress to expand their criticism of Uganda in every different way? So that's people support that. And I know this is a little bit of a touchy issue.
Yeah, I know support.
Okay, so Museveni claims that Western countries are exporting their values to Uganda and that the anti-gay law reflects genuine Ugandan values. But what has actually happened in the last 20 years is that right-wing evangelical Christians in the United States, the same people whose friends might have stormed the U.S. Capitol in 2021, 15 minutes from my house, they have targeted Uganda as ripe for the picking. According to the well-respected Chicago Council on Global Affairs, I have 2 copies of this article here, if anybody wants to take a look at it. It's a very respected organization. What they said is that these extremist so-called American Christians decided to focus their anti-gay agenda on Uganda. They picked Uganda out of all the African countries. From 2007 to 2020, over 20 evangelical groups spent at least $54 million in Africa to influence, quote, law, policies, and public opinion on birth control, reproductive rights, and an anti-gay agenda. Nearly half was spent in one country, Uganda. Did anybody know this?
No.
So you can read this article. I only brought 2, but it's called...
What is it called?
It's called The Unholy Relationship Between Uganda's Anti-LGBTQ Law and U.S. Evangelicalism. You can just go to the Chicago Council on Global Affairs, put in Unholy Relationship, and you'll find it. Kareem, you were reading it. It's a good article, right?
Yeah.
He has to say yes. Okay, so then in 2009, top American evangelical leaders organized a 3-day conference in Kampala to expose the homosexual agenda. That was when they laid the groundwork for the 2014. I'm almost done. The groundwork is laid for the 2014 anti-gay law. So this came from America. Those are American cultural extremists who are coming to Uganda. The last thing I want to talk about very, very briefly, and this is important, this is an amendment, something that's called the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA. And 2 members of Congress proposed this amendment. It didn't pass, but I want to summarize it very quickly what it is, because this is the direction I think I recommend that people go. So, the amendment says, from Congressman Bob Garcia and Congressman Rebecca Garland, all funds to Uganda should be cut, All funds should be cut, including assistance in the form of equipment and training to coordinate joint training exercises, until the Secretary of State certifies that Uganda has taken 4 actions. So this is calling for a real aid cut. It's going beyond rhetorical condemnation. No more money for military assistance until Uganda investigates and prosecutes members of the UPDF who are violating human rights, until they establish that either the police or the UPDF are persecuting LGBT people. This is part of the package. It's part of the package.
That's what I thought.
Next, establish that the police and the UPDF are protecting the rights of trade unionists, journalists, human rights defenders, critics of the government, faith and religious leaders, and other civil society activists. And that guarantees that the judicial system investigates, prosecutes, and brings to justice members of the police and the military who have committed human rights abuses. So, my last sentence is, I see 2 ways to have an impact in Congress. One is this incredible film that we saw last night, of course, to get it around to the public, to students, to Congress, and the other is to encourage members of Congress to not criticize them for attacking the anti-gay law, but say we want to build on it and expand it so that you condemn all human rights abuses and corruption. And take action to cut the military.
They have to put LGBTQ
the sponsors
to the front.
Which state? Are they Congress? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the team from TASC. That is an organization based in Washington, D.C. They work with combating torture and supporting survivors, victims of survivors. So thank you for your presentation. I would like to shift gears to our team from Uganda by calling, I know we have so many delegates who are with us today. I'd like to call our spokesperson, Honorable to come and take over the next part of the presentation, but give an opportunity to the voices. Thank you so much,
People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. And everywhere. Just before I get started, I invite my colleague, members of parliament, to come say hello to us. Then I'll make a few remarks and invite the president. Let's welcome the minister. One head of the team is Kayeba Solo. He thinks he's a good footballer. I disagree. But he tries. They also invite the deputy mayor from Nakawa. Deputy mayor from Nakawa, please come and also say hello to us. We're just saying hello, introducing ourselves properly. A number of them are part of the shadow cabinet. They will tell us the portfolios, and then we shall move quickly.
People power. Our power.
People power.
Kayemba Solo. My Christian name is Geoffrey, but I don't want to mention it. I prefer calling me Kayemba Solo. I represent Bukomansimbi South constituency, and I'm also the People's Minister for Sports.
Simbwa Fred Kagwa, MP Natsumakawa. People power, our power. Thank you.
People power. Our power.
People power.
This is Kaya Christine Nachimoelo. I'm the woman member of Parliament for Chiboga District. And I am the Minister for Water and Environment in the alternative government.
The shadow.
We are no longer shadows, we are the real option. And we are very privileged to be here. I will say this in Uganda. Nedira Kasimba, Akabirongo.
Yaja wange.
Omuwala gwaffe gugamba kiiso kya mbuzi kirekerera omusi ne kitunuulira obubaazi. Tunuulira omusi tetutunuulira babaazi.
Yeah.
Thank you.